Well, good morning. Sunday, what is it, the 29th of March? Sunday, day 4 of the lockdown in New Zealand, only 24 days to go. I think it's going to go on longer. The restrictions of some kind will stay. This virus is a hell of a lot worse than I was anticipating only a few weeks back. I mean, it was only 3 weeks ago that I booked an ad in the Junction magazine for this month. Back in very early January I booked a holiday to Bali, which is only a few weeks away. Obviously that's not going ahead. I knew that quite a while ago, so that got changed. But you know, even as late as mid-late February I was looking at accommodation to stay in Bali, so I could do a bit of travelling around. Nice cup of coffee in the morning. Early morning, well, not too early. Sun's up. I think it's about 9 o'clock. Managed to sleep until 7. I was up quite late though, and even some new books to read. But another gorgeous day. Yeah, but like I was saying, this virus is a lot worse than I was anticipating. And looking at the experience that China's going through, who were the first to lock down. They locked down the Hubei province and Wuhan. Then gradually they locked down Beijing, Shanghai and all the other major cities they have there, quite a lot. But they're still in like 100% lockdown. So I don't believe the statistics that are coming out of China. You know, nearly, wow, what's that, 1.8, 1.6 billion people. So it's obviously a lot more serious than we anticipated when they're still in complete lockdown and officials wearing hazmat suits everywhere. Everyone's still wearing the masks, goggles. You can contract it through the eyes, droplets. That's the main way of it passing on, is through droplets. Coughing, sneezing, talking, shouting, singing. And in the South Korea, there was a South Korean church. There's a South Korean church that it was on the 10th floor of a building, but there was a few hundred people in this space, and because it was the middle of winter, all the windows were closed. And of course, for hours they were singing and shouting, you know, praying and all that sort of stuff, and the droplets were just spreading everywhere. And they got loads of cases just from that one church meeting. I was talking about Madrid yesterday. I mean, they are in lockdown now, I believe. Second day, third day, something like that, I'm not too sure. But about 5-6 days ago they allocated an ice rink in Madrid, very large ice rink, as a sort of mortuary to store the bodies on ice. And now I've just heard that it's full to capacity. Unbelievable. In London they've converted, almost finished it, the XL Centre, which is in Docklands, I think, you know, on the east of London. Massive exhibition centre, huge, 4 halls. Each hall is 1 kilometre long, half a kilometre wide. So you imagine the size of it. I think they've taken over 2 of the halls and they're going to put 4,000 beds in there. And the builders are in there now putting all the partitions in. You can see it online on the news. The second hall, I believe, is going to be converted into 2 mortuaries, morgues. It's not good. So they're obviously anticipating the worst. What's that old saying? Prepare for the worst, expect the best, something like that. New York, as of yesterday, 728 deaths in New York. They've been very, very late to the party in terms of organisation. I think he's the mayor, I'm not sure, or the governor, Andrew Cuomo. He's going at it really, really hard. He's had a few fights with Trump, because, you know, Trump's all about the economy. Keeps going on about the economy. We'll be back at work by Easter. The guy's on a different planet. But Trump did mention about actually shutting down New York, quarantining, putting a quarantine zone in around New Jersey, New York, and he hadn't even bothered to tell Cuomo that. Cuomo, when he was asked, said no, he hadn't heard anything about that, but now apparently he has, and that's what I think they're going to do, probably today or tomorrow. There's a huge, something America's got that nobody else has got, these military hospital ships. So there's one in California, near Los Angeles, off the coast of Los Angeles, might be San Diego, I'm not sure, but they're bringing one to New York, going to moor that up in the mouth of the Hudson River there, 1,000-bed hospital. Italy, oh that's terrible. Italy, their death toll has just passed 10,000. It was almost 1,000 deaths in one day yesterday. That's just unbelievable. They've got the highest percentage of deaths. It's been put down to a much more elderly population. But also, again, they were a bit late to the party, so the spread was huge. And I did hear reports from doctors that initially in the first week or so in Italy, when somebody had the fever and they went to the hospital with a fever, they were giving them steroidal medication and paracetamol and all that sort of stuff, and ibuprofen to squash the fever. Well, I was married to a naturopath for many, many years, and one thing I did learn about that is you let the fever run. Fever might only run for 24 hours, 48 hours, but the fever's there heating your body up to fight the virus. So if you suppress the fever, take pain medication to try and suppress it, you're just letting the virus win, and your own immune system can't fight back. Fantastic video from a chief doctor. He's chief of the particular hospital in Seoul in Korea, because Korea's handling this really, really well. They're incredible. They've got walk-through testing stations, drive-through testing stations. If you are feeling any symptoms at all, just an achy body, sore throat, whatever, you go, it's free. You get tested for free. If you're not showing any symptoms but you want to get tested, it does cost $140 US, but the government gives you your money back if the test is positive. Someone's got to pay for it, I suppose, but they have done more testing than anybody. We're talking the hundreds of thousands, and they seem to have it under reasonable control. Our neighbours, Australia, what have they got now? They've got over, I think, close to 3,500 tested positive, 14 deaths. Again, being a bit like America, the federal government and the state government, so things tend to move a bit slower when you have federal versus state, and each state doing their own thing. But this virus is a hell of a lot more scary than I was anticipating only a few weeks ago. It just brings home how important it is to abide the rules. What did we see on the news yesterday? Youngsters, they weren't even that young, young adults in their 20s having frisbee games and touch rugby in the park. What on earth are they thinking? I know with young people, they don't feel the need because the statistics show that they're not going to die from it. Some of them won't even feel bad about, they'll only have a mild cold for a couple of weeks. But, when they go back to their homes, their parents or their family, they're going to be passing on and creating the spread. So I hope they shut that down pretty quick. Just going to enjoy a little coffee. We'll take Rio for a walk. He's desperate for a walk. Shall we? A bit of light relief. That's all a little bit sad and a bit negative, so a little bit of light relief. We're going to take Rio for a walk. Let's go. This is Rio when I grab the lead. And sit. Good boy. Try to do this with one hand. There we go. You ready to go for a walk? Ready to go for a walk? Do you want to go for a walk? Yeah. Want to go for a walk? Let's go. Another beautiful sunny day. Yeah, as I was saying, dogs will love this. I bet they're getting walked a hell of a lot more than they used to. Their owners are staying at home with them. Dogs love that. They don't like it when you leave them at home when you go to work. So we are going to take Rio for another little walk. He loves it. Do his Facebook. Yeah, so being Sunday, I've got to go to work tomorrow. I might have to pop down to the bacon shop a bit later on today just to do a little bit of prep for tomorrow, because I've got a few online orders I have to do. One regular customer and a new customer. They're all fairly local, so I'll be able to deliver them myself. So I'll only take half an hour, the prep that I've got to do. And like I said yesterday, I might get the bike out, Trouble is, every time I do get the bike out, Rio goes mad because he wants to run with me, and it's always hard riding a bike while you're carrying a lead. I don't want him roaming free on a bike ride. So yeah, yesterday I cleaned all the kitchen top to bottom. Still a few bits to do. Got to take all the shelves out of the fridge, clean all those. And today, since it's such a gorgeous day, I thought I'd hit the windows. They haven't had a good outdoor clean for a while, so I'll do that today. Yeah, it's good keeping busy. Watching a few YouTube videos. Even watched a bit of mainstream TV yesterday. Watched The Chase. That's quite a good show. There was a couple of things on last night. Oh, there was that Ant and Deck show. That was a bit boring. All that stupid frivolity doesn't seem right at a time like this. But yeah, Rio's enjoying it. Getting 2 walks a day. They've come down a slightly different route today. This is going down the bottom of the hill. What are you doing? What are you seeing, Rio? Come on. Somebody out walking down there. He spotted somebody. So, sad news. New Zealand's had their first death. And we've gone over 500 cases now of positive tests. So, been a bit of a sad day today with statistics around the world. New Zealand now on the charts with the first death from COVID-19, coronavirus, whatever you want to call it. So on that sad note, I think I will go and edit and upload this video to YouTube and get ready to do my work tomorrow. I'll still need to pop down, just do a tiny bit of prep, but I won't be bothered filming that, there's not much to do. And I might even leave it till early in the morning. So take care out there, stay strong, stay distant, and just make the most of your time at home. Good luck.